Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you got guesswork. Please, guys, participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1. You will hear a conversation between two people, a customer, Steve, and a customer care person. Steve has bought a new mobile phone and he is facing some problems related to it. You have some time to look at questions 1 to 4. Good afternoon. May I help you?
Good afternoon. Yes, actually, I have to complain about the phone which I've bought from your agency.
Okay. Can you give me your details? What is your name? The complaint is about phone. So, the answer to the query is phone, which is written as an answer for the example. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4. Good afternoon. May I help you?
Good afternoon. Yes, actually, I have to complain about the phone which I've bought from your agency.
Okay. Can you give me your details? What is your name?
Steve Clooney. It's S-T-E-V-E.
Is it Clooney? C-L-U-N-E-Y?
No, it's Clooney. C-L-O-O-N-E-Y.
And your address, please?
Lotus Road, 72N.
L-O-T-U-S, Lotus Road. And it is near?
Near Community Hall.
Okay, thank you. Could I just ask, when did you start having problems with your phone?
It's only been 2 days. Today it's Friday, so I bought it on Wednesday.
Okay, hold on a minute. I am checking which series you had bought. It's Maple Phone 4B, right?
Yes, correct.
Now look at questions 5 to 10. Now, tell me what sort of problems are you having with it?
Well, the most dangerous thing, which I believe is when I talk on the phone, my ear immediately starts paining. And this had never happened before, as previously I had a Maple Phone 3A.
Oh, that's strange. And any other problem?
Yes, the other thing is that the battery dies in almost less than an hour.
Okay.
And also I forgot the charger wire is not in good shape and also it hangs frequently.
Oh, that seems that there are a lot of problems.
When can I come to replace it?
Can you come on Sunday?
Why not today evening?
Actually, the set which you want to get replaced will arrive on Saturday. It is not available right now.
But I can't wait that long. Still 3 days to go before Sunday comes.
I understand your problem, sir, but I won't be able to give you the same set today.
Then in that case, I want my money refunded, and you please forget about the phone.
Sir, please try to understand. Let me ask my manager if we can arrange the set.
Okay.
Sir, I have inquired. You can replace your set today itself, but for that you have to go to some other place. We know those dealers and they will replace your handset.
Okay, where will I have to go?
It is a bit far away from the city.
You give me the exact address.
Yes, please. It is shop number 21346, Tech City, near Chow Mau Hotel.
Can you guide me where is the Tech City exactly?
20 kilometres further from the Elephant Park.
Okay, I will just go now.
Sir, the shop closes early, so you have got only 2 hours.
You tell them that I'm coming and they have to replace my Maple 4B phone.
Yes, sir. We have informed them.
I hope I don't face any kind of problem in that.
No, sir. Not at all. I can assure you that.
Okay, I will call you if I face any kind of issue. What's your name?
My name is Ricky.
Okay, thanks, Ricky.
Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
You are going to hear a radio presenter, Stu Lilker, who will tell the listeners that how Springfield Law got the unanimous vote for Lake City Code Enforcement Special Magistrate. First, look at questions 11 to 16.
Last night in Lake City, Florida, in the City Hall, the City Council held a workshop to interview Jennifer Springfield of Springfield Law for the position of Code Enforcement Special Magistrate. Late in 2013, City Manager Wendell Johnson presented the idea of establishing a Code of Enforcement Special Magistrate who would sit in place of the community members of the Lake City Code Enforcement Board. In January of 2014, the city put out a request for proposals for a Code Enforcement Special Magistrate. There was only one applicant, who withdrew because of a conflict of interest. In 1980, the state of Florida created Chapter 162 of the Florida Statutes. This law took the enforcement of local ordinances out of the courts and had violations handled by local citizen boards who were members of the community. This law also allows for the creation of a Code Enforcement Special Magistrate, which enables the city to have code enforcement cases handled by a special magistrate who may not be a member of the community. The request for proposal was put out again. That time there were 2 applicants from Gainesville. The finalist was Jennifer Springfield of Springfield Law, who in 2012 became the attorney for the ill-fated North Florida Broadband Authority, NFBA.
Now look at questions 17 to 20.
Ms. Springfield was the NFBA attorney while it was sinking into debt and was so unresponsive to the member counties, including Columbia County, that many pulled out. During that time and to the present day, City Manager Johnson has demonstrably been a supporter of Attorney Springfield. In her communication with Lake City, Ms. Springfield did not mention that she was and still is associated with the NFBA, a relationship that began amid much controversy in 2012. One of the Lake City's requirements for the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate was that the candidate be a previous member of the Code Enforcement Board or have had acted in the capacity of a special magistrate. Ms. Springfield did not meet that qualification. Another requirement was experience with municipalities of similar size as Lake City. Ms. Springfield did not appear to meet that requirement. The council asked only a handful of softball questions. In the list of requirements for the position, there was a statement that preference will be placed on firms or individuals based out of Columbia County, Florida. Throughout the whole process, not one council member asked City Manager Johnson why local firms weren't sent notices of the proposal. At the conclusion of Ms. Springfield's question and answer session, City Manager Johnson spent a comparable amount of time explaining to the council the theory of Lake City code enforcement. Mayor Witt and council members Jefferson, Moses and Word voted in favor of a future resolution hiring Ms. Springfield. Councilman Zach Polk refused to speak when asked for his vote. He didn't explain and he didn't abstain. He just didn't speak. His vote will be counted as a yes.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
You are going to hear a trainee nurse, called Roy, having a discussion with his tutor about his presentation. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 24.
Good morning, Roy. Please take a seat.
Good morning.
So, you're here to talk about a presentation you're giving. Is that right?
Yes. Everyone had to choose one type of alternative therapy and do some research on it. I chose yoga, and I'm giving a presentation on that next week for the other students in my group.
OK. What made you choose yoga?
Well, a friend of mine recommended it. She'd been suffering from stress, so she tried doing yoga exercises and she felt that it had helped her a lot. So I'm quite interested in it.
OK. Well, for people who don't know anything about yoga, I'd start off with a short introduction if I were you. For example, say something about its origins.
OK. I know it came from India about 5,000 years ago, but now there are a lot of different types of yoga.
Yes, there are. But they all have a common basis. They all focus on posture and breathing, don't they? And then some of them use other things as well, like chanting.
Yes, or a specific diet.
OK. What else?
I thought I should also mention what the benefits of yoga are. Like, it's meant to be good for high blood pressure and for the heart.
Yes, it's fine to mention them, but I think you should point out that there's a shortage of scientific evidence. We need more research.
OK. And then I thought I'd mention some of the different varieties of yoga. There are so many different...
Before you hear the rest of the recording, you have some time to look at questions 25 to 30.
OK, so why don't you just give 3 or 4 examples? Hatha is one of the best known ones, isn't it?
Yes, Hatha's a very general category, actually, so it includes most styles, but it's usually slow and it's quite gentle too. It doesn't have any of those very complicated postures that you hear about.
So I suppose it's very suitable for beginners then?
That's right. It's the one that my friend did, in fact. And she'd never done yoga before, though she's quite fit anyway. Then there's another style called Ashtanga, which consists of a sequence of postures that are fixed. There's no variation, and that one's normally vigorous.
So it's more challenging then?
Yes, but the thing about this one is that some instructors are willing to fit the program to suit individuals, so people can work at their own pace.
I see. I guess the instructor walks round and advises each person separately then?
I suppose so. Then there's power yoga. It's similar to Ashtanga, except that the instructors are free to choose the postures they want to demonstrate. It's very popular. It's spread all over the world. But because it can vary, it's best to get more information before registering for a class.
OK. And isn't there a style called Bikram that's exactly the same wherever you do it?
Yes, there are 26 different postures, and they're always done in the same order for the same length of time. The other thing about it is that the rooms for Bikram are heated to over 40 degrees.
Oh, that's very hot.
And humid too. The water level is always 40%. No more, no less.
It wouldn't suit me. Right. Well, are you going to talk about the supposed health benefits?
Yes, but I've only got 10 minutes, so I'll stick to the time.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
You are going to hear a radio presenter talking about how people can set up a youth club in their area. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
I'm going to talk to listeners to the programme tonight about how to set up a youth club in your area. There are many reasons why a community might want to do this. Sometimes people suggest that the main reason is that it helps stop teenagers from getting involved in antisocial behaviour, petty theft and vandalism, for example. That may be a motive in some cases, but it's not a major one. More common is the desire to make it easier for youngsters who've just moved to a neighbourhood to get to know people of their own age with similar interests. Of course, they meet people at school too, but the more relaxed activities teenagers can do in a youth club seem to create particularly strong bonds. This makes it less likely for youngsters to aim to leave the area as soon as they finish school. And that's the other principal reason why communities decide they need a youth club. Even if the club itself is aimed at youngsters, setting it up requires people of different generations to cooperate, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. So, what to do once you've decided to set up a youth club in your community? First of all, it's essential that you establish contact with local government officials as soon as possible. They are likely to have a team of people who will be able to advise you on every element of starting up a youth club. Check they agree with you that there is a need for some sort of club for young people in the area. If there are any other youth clubs in the area, they may be able to put you in touch with other leaders who can help give you some advice. Next, you should be asking yourself, what do young people actually want to do? And what can I do to organise events which appeal to them, but are also well run and useful? The best way of finding out the answers to these questions is to go round schools in your community and ask teenagers what they'd want from such a club. They may well surprise you with their answers. Youth groups have historically met in a church hall or a local sports centre, but a place like that may not be the best venue for you. Then what you must do is find somewhere where your members will feel comfortable. Otherwise, they may stop coming. Finding what you need may take weeks, even months, but it'll be worth it in the end. The next thing to consider is money. Youth clubs are not easy to organise, and funding is one way in which you can make the task a lot easier. The best way of getting funding is to approach not a bank, as you might imagine. Look around and you're sure to be able to find at least one charity devoted to helping a community like yours. Finally, you must remember that these days there are several legal factors to consider when setting up a club for young people. You will need to ensure your club is covered by an appropriate insurance policy. You can't take the risk of not getting all the documents you need. Case studies have shown that participation in youth groups is beneficial for those who take on the role of youth leaders, as well as for the teenage club members. I would urge any of you who have the desire and the opportunity to take on this role to do so. I say this because it has been shown time and again that youth leaders above all enjoy a certain sense that they are doing something for the good of society. Many report that they actually find this voluntary work psychologically more rewarding than their own paid employment. However, this is not the only reason why I'd recommend this kind of activity. Youth club leaders also usually report that they themselves experience considerable pleasure through their contact with the young people in their clubs. They say that it gives them a fresh perspective, and few begrudge the time and energy that the role inevitably involves.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.